Hi everyone, Essie Smith here with another day of Coastal Magic Summer Reading Event. And today I'm going to be interviewing the wonderful Ginger Collins. Ginger and I met while I came up to Sparta, North Carolina, and it was wonderful to meet somebody else who had the same passion that I do about writing. Ginger, tell us a little bit about yourself.
We do have a same passion for writing, and our meeting was very serendipitous. Uh, my husband and I live in Allegheny County, North Carolina. Moved here from Atlanta, retired here. I've been writing all my life. Always wanted to do advertising and promotion writing. So for my entire career, I was either working in sales or marketing or public relations or with an advertising agency. But when I moved to Atlanta, my husband gifted me with early retirement. So I was able to write short stories and memoir and really get involved with the writing group and further my writing practice.
Well, I know that have you've written a lot of blogs about a lot of the things that you've done of your life. I know that you were into sailing as well.
Yes. We had melbarbie.com, and on that web page, we posted pictures of all our adventures. We sailed to Bermuda. We sailed to lots of different locations on the East Coast, and really used the blog as a way to get the word out to everybody that we were okay, and post some pictures of our adventures. And I've also have a writing blog that I must say I haven't kept up with for a while because I've been working on our writers organization. But it's just such a wonderful way to share your writing with others, and also let them get to know you and your personality.
So, do you use any of the adventures that you went on when you were doing the sailing, or even your experiences from living in Atlanta and your years of being in marketing to help you with your writing?
I thought about writing about some of the people I worked with, and then I thought that wasn't a very good idea. But when my husband and I were in Alaska, sailing in Alaska, he decided to venture off the boat. I stayed on the boat, and he went up the mountain looking for the beginning stream of a waterfall. And as he went up the mountain, here comes a big black bear who got his scent and stood up and looked around, and just for, prayers and whatever, my husband just stood still and the bear went by. I did take that story and I wrote it as if I was on the boat watching this and the bear attacked him. So it ended up to be a story that was published in anthology, and so I took the real thing and turned it into fiction.
Do you think that that helps make the experience when you're writing it more realistic for the reader?
I think it's more realistic for the reader because it has more energy. You're taking what actually happened. This is how I see fiction. You're taking what actually happened and you're saying, well, what if? What if this was different? What is that if that was different? And it lets you put a whole new energy on the words because you're taking the story to places that it hasn't been but could go if your imagination and your creativity takes it there.
I can't imagine, when I'm writing it, that the thought of my husband, imagining that attack and everything else and feeling that sense of hopelessness and then trying to convey that to the readers, I think is one thing that makes it more interactive for the reader because they can actually feel those emotions that are coursing through the story.
Well, I know in that particular story, it was more of a frustration of the person of me on the boat thinking, oh my gosh, if he gets attacked by a bear, what am I going to do? I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, Kenai Peninsula on a boat. But so the heroine of the story did save the day because she found a way to shoot the bear without hurting her husband and without actually, hurting the bear. So it all ended up, she saved him in the end. She saved him in the end.
It reminds us of when I was traveling to Iceland and Steve was standing on the edge of the cliffs, and I've actually got a photo of him looking out, and all Norella and I could think of was, he has the car keys. And who's going to go after him if he falls? And it's
Well,
just
that's an active imagination, Susan. It's an active imagination.
Now, I know that you said also that you've moved to Allegheny County and you've become really involved in Allegheny Writers. Tell us a little bit about that evolution.
Well, when I lived in Atlanta, I became very involved in the Atlanta Writers Club, and I was on their board, was program chair, which, by the way, is a really great job because it lets you call a lot of people and introduce yourself, trying to set up programs. But when I came to Allegheny County and I knew I wanted to write, I started to realize that there were a lot of writers out there, but they didn't really want to call themselves writers because they didn't see themselves as authors. So that group, we started getting together and we started meeting once a month. And after a couple years of getting small grants and bringing people to town to teach workshops, and we became a 501c3 nonprofit, and now we have a whole program of education for adult writers, but we also work very actively in the school system to bring writing across the curriculum into the classrooms of Allegheny County. So we're very proud of not only how we nurture our writers and serve regional writers, but also how we serve the community, encouraging writing, and also help the teachers implement writing in the classroom.
I know that, it's so important to have that connection, and that you guys have taken an active step towards it is just amazing. Now tell us a little bit about your own writing. I've been to your house, and you have downstairs you have this one room set aside, and across one wall you have a massive chart.
Yes.
That you've been working on. Tell us a little bit about your writing style.
Well, the downstairs area of our home I have christened the Pink Think Tank. and it is the place where there are lots of blank walls that I can put those wonderful big sheets of paper and have these flow charts of characters. So that particular novel, I found a briefcase, and I found it online. It was just like the briefcase that I had when I was in the 80s. That was my first professional briefcase. And so I ordered it. I just ordered it because I wanted to see it. And then I opened it up, and there was this stain on the fabric of the material. It was a Hartman tweed briefcase. And I thought, well, I wonder what that is. I wonder what that could be. It could be blood.
Ooh.
It could be blood. It could be ink. It could be all kinds of things.
Sounds like we got a mystery going.
And so I started a story about a young woman who goes to an auction and bids on this briefcase, gets it, and as she's leaving, this group of Eastern Europeans come in because they want the briefcase. And so she is on the run. And my board is, the purple cards are all the lead characters, the good guys. And then the green cards are the bad guys. And then there's the neutral people. And then there's all the different things that happen. And it's the roadmap. It's the roadmap for a story that I have yet to finish.
It's the thinking map.
It's the thinking map. I love those thinking maps and those big sheets of paper with markers that I can just, people have said to me, Susan, why don't you put this on some kind of a flow chart on the computer? I thought, for me, that would never work. That would never work.
So what are your plans for the future? What do you envision for Allegheny writers and yourself in the writing field?
Well, as far as Allegheny Writers is concerned, we have a couple projects. As you mentioned, the Thinking Map project, which we're doing with the school, and it's also an interactive program with the parents of grade school children.
And you do a lot with the community with the First in Maine?
Oh yes, Writers on Maine.
Writers
That
on
is
Maine.
our first Saturday literary programs where we bring in what we call local talent, regional names, and national authors on tour. You've been one of those.
I've been one of them,
I think
yes.
you were our premier
Yes.
visiting writer when we opened up the Bistro Stage, which is down in downtown Sparta, and the Horizon Bistro lets us use their stage on the first Saturdays at 3 o'clock to bring these writers in and do book talks, which Susan did for us to kick us off. I don't think we've had that size audience since then, but it's something for the community. It's that other thing to do when you come to Sparta, because we have a lot of music and there's a lot of art galleries and things, but the literary programs, the authors on tour are really becoming an asset.
Well, I'd like to thank you for coming out today. I gave her this interview kind of like, she called me and she says, do you want to have lunch? And I said, can I interview you? And she was like, okay. But Ginger has always been such a dynamic person, and it's been really a blessing for me to be able to meet you and to be able to learn so much from you and spend time together. So I'd like to say thank you to her, and thank you to Coastal Magic Summer Reading Event for letting this happen.
Hey, listen, I want to thank you because all those things you said about me, I learn something from you every time we're together, and I take it back and I apply it either in my own writing or at Allegheny Writers and look like a rock star because I'm getting my ideas from this one over here. But it's been so much fun. I think we've both opened up a lot of streams of ideas for each other, and that's kind of what writing is all about.
And it's the people that you meet.
It is.
So thank you, and thank you everyone for joining us. Have a great day.